So I'm here with Carla Speed McNeil, one of my favorite writer artists. So she's done Finder. She's currently drawing No Mercy for Alex de Campi. And she also did a Wonder Woman story in the last issue of Sensation Comics. In my mind, she and Alex actually wrote the best Wonder Woman stories of the last 10-15 years. But anyway, Carla, let's talk a little bit about Finder, because you just completed the latest arc, which kind of ended on a cliffhanger before you moved on. So what were you thinking with where you left Jaeger in this latest Finder arc, since you're going to pick it up again at some point?
Well, the more I talk to people, the more I realize there are an awful lot of peculiar neurological things going on with just about everybody. I myself have migraines, and it's kind of odd to try to explain to people that I have minor hallucinations every once in a while as a routine part of my life, and it's just not a thing. Basically, he has a peculiar thing that he's never considered whether or not it was anything important. Basically, he can travel great distances without realizing he's doing it, and the sinister forces in his life want this thing away from him, or to be able to exploit it in some way. And the worst part of it for him is that he has spent his whole life denying that it exists. So that's where he's left, really. He's more trapped by his own circumstances than he is by the room that I left him in.
Right, so it's the irony of a lot of things in his life coming home to roost. In a way, it's also very much a culmination of his tragedy ever since you first did the first issue as well. So anyway, we're not going to go into what's next since you're already planning it, and that would be spoilers. Anyway, let's talk about No Mercy, which is one of the most interesting comics right now because it's essentially a teen survival horror series. Without the cheesy supernatural stuff, but with all the emotional beats one expects. And Alex has talked about the manga influence. How did you come to it, since we know that you and Alex had been meaning to work together for a while? So let's talk about that.
Well, I did 20 pages in her book Ashes, and I got to do my first super secret evil lab in that one, complete with wretched victims and great big tubes of liquid and, wires and hoses and all that sort of thing. And we ran into one another at Baltimore Comic-Con the following season, and she got some of my stuff and came back an hour later and said, "Hey, you do good teenagers, you want to do something?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And she said, "Really?" And I said, "Really," and it kind of went from there. Because I can do an ensemble cast of, different people that, that still fit together and can, sustain long screaming arguments between, various individuals and still make it dramatic. So it really has been a lot of fun. Like we've got a good collaboration going, more like a jazz band than a compartmentalized production house. Since all three of us, Alex, myself, and the colorist are all writers, we round robin contribute quite a bit. So it's really been a very gratifying collaboration.
Yep. Now let's talk about your story in Sensation Comics, which is a really sweet Wonder Woman story. The most interesting thing I'm finding is that you and Alex understand that, first of all, Wonder Woman is supposed to be fun. She's not supposed to be some angry, violent warrior bitch. Because if you look at the old Marston stories, and you even look at George Perez's reboot, she's an incredibly sweet-natured character despite the fact that she's a trained warrior, and that's what you touch upon in your story.
Oh, she is, absolutely. That was my grasp on the character. Everybody always says, Superman is the white hat and Batman is the black hat, and Wonder Woman, she's the chick. No, she's not.
Well, she's a Disney princess.
One of the Marsden stories,
yes.
In which she met a battered wife, a woman who was being beaten by her husband, and she said straight up, "Sister, you need to learn how to fight. The better you can do it, the less you'll have to." And I thought that was just amazing, just brilliant. I've got a lot of soldiers in the family too, and no matter who calls them a hero, they will all deny it. Every single one who's above ground will deny it. But every once in a while, they'll talk in special tones about that one person they knew who could be a fighter, could be a killer, but didn't have to develop a callus 3 feet thick between themselves and the world just to exist. Those are the ones that they will maybe be willing to call heroes. And for me, that's her. That's the one who not necessarily can take the punishment in some sort of sadistic, masochistic fashion, but who can still be present in the world and full of love for the people who need her. And that is what makes her special.
Yep. Thank you, Carla Speed McNeil.
Thank you.